my feeling of failure is not necessarily what is outright seen or understood as failure. The thing is, I'm afraid of admitting when I feel like I'm failing, because for the most part, people see it as if I'm bragging. Hello YouTube fam, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Tanaye. I am a PhD student based in Canada. My content is mainly academic or life and lifestyle. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for showing up. I appreciate you. And if you're new, I hope you're here to stay. So it has been a while since I've uploaded a video, and so I just thought I should come here and just give you guys a quick life update, and just to keep you guys in the loop of what's going on. It's been a rough 2 weeks, so to say, and rough not in the sense that is normally perceived as rough, and I will explain how or why in this video. And yeah, I hope you guys give me some grace, and I hope you can understand where I'm coming from. But yeah, let's get into it. So it's been a while since I've uploaded a video. I think it's been 2 weeks. Not great, but yeah, it's just been a weird 2 weeks, because for the most part I haven't really been able to categorize what's been going on. Essentially, I have content. I have the vlogs, I have the videos. I just need to edit, and I have been procrastinating that for the longest time. And generally I am a huge procrastinator, but I will get it done when it needs to get done, but that hasn't been the case with this, and I don't know what it is, and I'm just trying to figure it all out. But I feel like I just haven't been as motivated generally with everything, and it's not just with social media, but generally just like even with my studying and going to school. And I think also reading week had some sort of effect on me. We don't get reading week off, right, like as PhD students, but I feel like that sort of affected me in a sense. It's just been a lot of work that's been piling up, and a lot of things that I've been doing, and to a larger extent I did significantly underestimate the amount of work that would go into this semester. So I would say I wasn't like entirely prepared for it, with the instructing as well as I've got my candidacy exam coming up. I've had to postpone that for a little bit because I did change the trajectory of my research, so I've had to postpone that a little bit because I need to read a bit more in the new avenue that I'm taking. However, I still have that coming up this semester, so it's all a bit rushed. And then I had the 2 papers that I had to do. I still have to do the presentations for that. I have a women in engineering event coming up soon. It's just been a lot, and then I'm also trying to keep up with the social media and keep up with uploading and taking the content, editing it, and also trying to find time to relax or time to just be, So yeah, it's just been a lot. It's been a lot more than I anticipated, and I think that has had some sort of effect on me. That has definitely had an effect on me. It's not something I like to admit very much, but I think now I see the growth in myself as a person, because I see myself admitting to things that I normally wouldn't in the past. I see myself accepting things for what they are, and I think that's something that comes with age, so to say, because I am an overachiever. So I don't like it when I feel like I'm failing. And my sense of failing, I feel like there's definitely different types of failing for different people, right? And my sense of failing is definitely a lot. I don't want to, I don't like, sometimes I don't like particularly talking about myself or like the way that I perceive things, because I feel like it, in a sense, it's stuff that gets trivialized. And like, there's like failing that's like generic, like someone can fail because they failed a class, right? And that's failing. Like, it's so obvious that that's failing, right? And everyone understands that that's failing. But like, someone can feel like they're failing because they got they got 75% instead of 90%, that type of thing. Someone can feel like they're failing in that situation. And someone who has failed a class, like outright fail, that everyone, like the fail that everyone understands, may not necessarily understand how someone can perceive a 75% as a fail, right? So for the most part, the reason I went off that tangent, or the reason I came to that example, is because sometimes my sense of failing, or my feeling of failure, is not necessarily what is outright seen or understood as failure. So sometimes it's difficult for me to admit to others, like the people immediately, even the people immediately around me, because, and in a sense, it's sort of like me trivializing how I feel or my emotions towards something. I don't know if anyone else can relate to this, and I hope someone else can, because this is me being vulnerable right now, in a sense. Because personally, the thing is, I'm afraid of admitting when I feel like I'm failing, because for the most part, people see it as if I'm bragging. For the most part, people just cannot understand how someone perceives what I perceive as failure. They cannot fathom how one could possibly think they're failing if they're, for example, I don't have any problems with my instructing job. I think I'm actually doing pretty fantastic, right? I don't have any problems with my papers. I submitted my papers. My papers are really good. They read really well. My professor even said the same thing, right? I don't have a problem with, like, I'm working on a journal paper right now. Like, I have got these presentations that are coming up eventually. I've got the Women in Engineering event that's coming up. I have got my UZ students, right, that I also need to deal with as well in their projects. And I don't feel like, to someone, I'm managing it pretty well, because it's not like I'm failing or I'm skipping anything or I'm missing anything or I'm missing any deadlines or anything like that. No, but I still feel, in a sense, that I'm failing somehow, because I am not doing it entirely to the level that I put myself at. And I feel like also that could be another thing, is that I tend to sort of put myself here, right? Like, that's the level I want to be at. And right now I feel like I'm here. And so I feel like I'm failing. But like, the standard is here, right? So even though I'm doing more than the standard, even though I'm doing well, I'm just not doing as well as I would like. And so I feel like I'm failing, or I am failing in the context of failure to me. My best friend would say I'm a very type A person, and she's so right, because I have everything so planned. And for the most part, it's good, but also on the other hand, it doesn't really give me room to fail, or room to slow down, or room to change path, and this is something I'm actively trying to work on, to give myself grace, to allow myself to see where things go, to trust God that whatever is happening right now is meant to happen, and that is His plan. But this exam moving, like the way I shifted the exam, it's definitely not the plan that I had, and it's messing with me really badly, because now I feel like I'm just lagging behind. And it's a new feeling. It's a new feeling of failure, and I'm struggling to deal with it. So right now that's been my main priority. Like, I'm really trying to get this exam done and get it out of the way, but also at the same time I'm also trying to trust that what's happening right now, or the way that things are happening, the way that they're unfolding, is exactly how they're supposed to unfold. Anyway, enough about that. I am just here to encourage someone that your failures matter, and they're irrelevant, and they're just as bad, even though the average person doesn't perceive them as that. So yeah, that's just a quick update on life and life lately. Life has just been pretty busy, and yeah, your girlie definitely feels like she's in a state of failure, and I'm learning that it's okay. It's okay to say it. It's okay to speak up about it, or to admit it, because for the most part I have always kept this to myself, because it felt like my failure, or my sense of failure, was irrelevant, because there's bigger failures out there. And I also made this video to encourage other overachievers like myself, or other people, maybe not necessarily overachievers, but you basically feel like you basically feel like your failure is not seen as failure to the world, and so you feel like you cannot express yourself as openly. I just shared this video just to show you that it's also okay. It's okay to admit that your failures are just as important, they're just as relevant, and they're just as bad. Maybe not to the average person, but to you, they are. And that's fine. And that's okay. It's allowed. So, yeah, I will definitely be back very soon. I am getting out of this. The fact that I'm actually admitting to this and I'm actually uploading this in this way is a very good sign. And I am good. Lastly, yeah, I just want to thank everyone that's generally been watching my vlogs, my videos, and everything. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I know you guys really don't have to, but I really appreciate that you do. And I hope that I am sort of helping you, or inspiring you, or motivating you in some sense with your journey, whether it's with life, or it's with your school, your academics, your work, whatever it is, on my several different social media platforms. I hope that somehow I am having some sort of an impact on someone, even if it's just one person. I will leave you guys with this, and thank you if you have made it this far. Thank you so much for listening to me and my mini rant or vulnerability session, my mini expose, so to say, and I appreciate you. I will check in with you guys next week. Don't forget to comment, share, like, and subscribe. And yeah, bye for now. Mwah.